The Minnesota Vikings had a decision to make this offseason when it came to their north of 30 off-ball linebackers in Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks. And in a bit of a surprising move, they showed Kendricks, a longtime Vikings veteran, the door and kept Jordan Hicks. And Hicks came over in a free agent deal from Arizona. He's been a 3-4 inside linebacker his entire career, played in Philly as well as Texas. Hook 'em, baby. That's right. And Hicks did have a relatively good 2022 season when he wasn't asked to cover Tony Pollard. That's basically it. But 129 tackles, second on the team, 14 pressures. That should say 3 sacks. So, 3 sacks last year. 66.7 PFF grade. Remember, about 60 is average. 119.1 quarterback rating allowed, and 4 touchdowns allowed and covered. So, basically, when it came to run support and tackling and just not coverage, like he was good to go. As well as he added a little something as a pass rusher as well. And Jordan Hicks, his contract, it was revised last week, and full details are now out. So he's got a 1-year, $3.25 million deal, which is fully guaranteed. $5 million cap hit, just like last season. He's got a $1 million Pro Bowl bonus. Cool. And his contract at 3.25 is 34th amongst off-ball linebackers. So it's super reasonable. And a guy that obviously Brian Flores had some input on some of the personnel decisions. If he said, I don't want Hicks, I'm sure that Kwesi would have let him go. But Kwesi's keeping Hicks in the fold. And I understand, like, Jordan Hicks came in, and he was a good leader coming in off the street. That's kind of hard to do, especially with a locker room that already had an established veteran presence. But he worked well with Kendricks. He jived well with the linebacking room. And him and Brian Asamoah going forward as the starters penciled in on paper. It's decent. It is decent. And also what this says, too, is that the fact that his contract has fully guaranteed money, 3.25, even though it's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but the fact that it's fully guaranteed means that the Vikings do see him as a starter heading into camp. But also, this doesn't necessarily rule out drafting an off-ball linebacker because Hicks is 31, and you do have to look towards the future. But it also could say something about his role going forward because, like I said, Flores, I'm sure, had to sign off on this deal, and having a veteran guy who is a tackling machine who can still bring it as a 2-down linebacker, that does make sense. And I was thinking about just trying to hide Jordan Hicks in coverage. Like what is Brian Flores going to do? And then I remember, you look at off-ball linebackers like Kyle Van Noy in New England, as well as Miami, plus Jerome Baker with the Dolphins, where he had off-ball linebackers that were a blitzing presence because Brian Flores loves mixing it up with zone blitz, loves bringing heat, loves bringing an extra pass rush. And fittingly enough, so Jordan Hicks has been in the league for 8 years. He's never really been known as a pass rushing linebacker, but over the last 2 seasons, he's had 7 sacks, which is more than half of his career, 13.5. And he also was a decent pass rusher at Texas at 3.5 sacks his final season in Austin. So I think that Flores could see Hicks as a guy that you have on rundowns in the middle, taking care of things. And, that's the one drawback on Asamoah is him holding up and shedding blocks and being stout in the run game. Jordan Hicks has that in spades. And then if he's stuck in passing situations, bring him as a blitzer. Because guess what? He can't get burned in coverage if he's getting after the quarterback. So that could be a route that Flores goes with Jordan Hicks. But overall, I understand it. I think that if the Vikings were going to wipe the slate clean and go full on, tear down and rebuild, I think he would have shown Hicks the door. But obviously the Vikings, they believe that they're going to be very good and very competitive this season. And Hicks does have a lot of value. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all if Jordan Hicks is named a team captain this year. And he's going to be stout in the middle. He's going to be a surefire tackler. And he'll go from there. All right, so we'll see what happens with Hicks. But like I said, his contract being fully guaranteed does say a lot about what the Vikings think his role is going to be in 2023. But your thoughts are thoughts. Full contract details, Jordan Hicks, are out. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.